Welcome back to one more session on lean in RCM. See, now we are going to cover the another aspects of the denial in coding, right? So we will go through that, what we discussed so far. And before we go there, I want to touch base again on the billing review, right? The pre-billing audit review, which is very, very important process, right? So whenever there is a denial and we are going to create SOP based on the SOPs, we are going to identify the new trend and going to create a denial SOP. And then here we are going to do the charge entry process through this particular SOP audit, right? Pre-billing audit will be done, check based on the pre-billing SOPs, and we will make all the correction whenever it is needed. We will refile all the claim with all the required corrections. This is a pre-billing. We already covered in depth in the previous session. You can go back and then refer that. Okay. See, now the coding we discussed, that's what we are discussing for the last week, right? What is the overall coding, how it is trending down, and then how we are doing. That's what we started discussing. In the continuation of that, today we are going to cover on non-covered services. Right. So what is a non-covered service? We covered most in the last video. Okay, there is a two different way, right? One is the patient responsibility. Patient benefit will not cover this non-covered. And second one is as per the provider contract. So when the patient responsible for that particular service which is not covered, so what do you need to do? It's very simple. Go back and then check the previous payment. If anything we received it, that's incorrect denial, call the insurance and then try to fix it. If there is no prior payment, and then confirm, and then you can go ahead and then bill the patient. This is very simple, right? It's a code will be PR codes, and then we already have PR 96, and majority of your client will be approved you to bill the patient. So this will be a straightforward and then no complicated denial if it is a patient responsibility for NCS. When it is coming to the provider contract, okay, for a lean methodology, can I do anything on the patient responsibility? No, I cannot do. Whenever you get anything on the PRC, don't waste your time and then go ahead and then start billing. That's the one option. We can go back to PMS, then set the rule clearly, and then it will automatically bill the patient or the secondary insurance, and then we can close it out. When it is coming to provider contract, right, what we are doing is the same thing. It is more related to your provider contract. It's a credential related. When they're doing a contract, they will discuss about what all the services are covered, what all the services are non-covered. Right. So we have to check the same thing. Prior payment, we can check. If anything, we received a payment, then obviously you can call insurance and then send it back for reprocess. And there's no prior payment. And what you need to do is you have to check the payer policy. Sometimes it's not relevant to your provider contract, but it is general medical policy, right? What the insurance is following on the payment side. So what do you need to do? You go ahead and then check the policy. Okay, if the policy is correct, say for example, if the policy is very clearly says, okay, these are all the diagnosis codes are considered as a experimental and this will not be covered. Okay, in that scenario, what we can do, we cannot do anything here, even by appeal, you're not going to get a payment. If your policy is mentioned very clearly in the website of the provider portal or a payer portal, what do you need to do? You have to take a global action, no other option there. So what global action we can take? We will take it and then we will go to the client and create a adjustment policy and then we can do it. If policy is incorrect or we don't find any policy for that, you can call insurance and then ask them to get which policy on base of which policy you are getting denied. So you can get this information and do the same exercise here, what we did. So this is general non-covered services. Okay, for what I can improve if it is in the lean way, right? If it is a lean way methodology, what we are going to do here is, that's a very simple step what we are trying to add. Say, for example, if anything is there in the provider contract and I say that the provider policy is very clean and I'm billing that action, you can take a global action. What we are going to do, we will add that into your pre-billing edit and pre-billing audit, and we can go ahead and then create that edit and then we can stop billing, right? We need not bill those claims and bill those CPT codes, which is not going to be paid. If you bill, what will happen, you know very well, right? It will come for a denial again. Again, you need to work on. And second thing, take this to the client and then give a feedback to your client and then make sure these codes not built in the future, right? That's the way we need to stop these kind of problem with non-covered services, right? If you're able to control that, it will be better and we can reduce these kind of denials going forward. I hope this will be beneficial. Follow my podcast for future videos. Thank you.